guys, welcome back to Mika Reacting Reviews. We're reacting to things on the internet. Same day, same shirt, different video. And today we're returning to Bill Maher. And he is once again talking about the idiocracy that is today's American society. Anyway, we're gonna go right into it, but before you do, if you like this type of videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get the notification when I do upload. All that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support this channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal and Cash App link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course, it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. Another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program, different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below. And links to all the alternative platforms I'm on my socials, including my Twitter. All the ways to support me and all the ways to contact me for business is always in the links down below. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. All right, here we go.
And finally, new rule: if something about the human race is changing at a previously unprecedented rate, we have to at least discuss it. Broken down over time, the LGBT population of America seems to be roughly doubling every generation. According to a recent Gallup poll, less than 1% of Americans born before 1946, that's Joe Biden's generation, identify that way. 2.6% of boomers do, 4.2% of Gen X, 10.5% of millennials, and 20.8% of Gen Z. Which means if we follow this trajectory, we will all be gay in 2054. And then who's going to buy this chair? I'm just saying that when things change this much, this fast, people are allowed to ask, what's up with that? All the babies are in the wrong bodies? Was there a mix-up at the plant, like with Captain Crunch's Oops, All Berries?
I think what he's getting on is the rapid onset gender dysphoria that we've experienced, or the trending sort of transgender thing that's going on lately. It is there's an unusual high spike. And no, it's not because kids are just being taught to be themselves or that society is being more open, because according to the trans and LGBT activists, we're all bigots and we're all transphobic and homophobic, so that can possibly be it. There's something going on and we're allowed to ask why, what is going on. That doesn't mean nobody wants gay people. I'm queer, I'm bisexual. Like, no, that's not the thing that, oh, people are just scared of gay people. People don't want a society of gay people. There is a spike, there's something going on, and historically there is contagion. Contagion in society can happen, and we should ask ourselves, is that the thing that's happening right now? Is because of social media, because of media, and sort of this heightened spike in our entertainment when it comes to the LGBTQ and trans community? Is that just becoming more contagious and kids are taking on that for themselves? But anyway, let's continue.
It wasn't that long ago when adults asked a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? They meant, what profession?
Not anymore. The teachers are now just asking their kids what sex do they want to be when they grow up, not what they want to be as a profession or a career or a passion or things that actually would mean something to them, because your gender, your sex, and your sexual and your gender ideology or your gender expression should be everything to you. Anyway, let's continue.
In the wake of America about to lose abortion rights, the ACLU recently tweeted a list of those who would be disproportionately harmed by this. You would think women might top that list. No, wasn't even on the list.
What?
Second on the list was LGBT. Really? Abortion rights affects gay and trans people more than, breeders?
I'm not surprised, because the erasure of women and women's spaces is very apparent. I mean, again, I think Tom McDonald said it best. You spend years and decades and generations teaching women to be strong and independent, fighting for women's rights, and then you just rip it away from them by making everyone the same, and there's no difference between men and women. Everyone's gay, everyone's trans, so who cares about protecting women and women's spaces or even female rights at this point? The fact that abortion, First of all, abortion rights aren't being taken away. Abortion rights are just getting pushed back to the states, so that's a correction. But you would think that women, people can actually have children, would be the top of the list. I have seen people come out and say, oh, the overturning of Roe is going to affect, trans and LGBTQ and mixed race couples, which I'm like, what the fuck does mixed race couples or interracial couples have to do with the overturning of Roe? It's just like they just throw everything at it just to like fear monger and stuff like that. But anyway, let's continue.
I'm happy for LGBT folks that we now live in an age where they can live their authentic lives openly. And we should always be mindful of respecting and protecting. But someone needs to say it. Not everything's about you.
It's just the entitlement of it all. Like, they just desperately want to be the center of attention of everything. You can hear a pig squealing in the back. It's probably being slaughtered. But anyways, continue.
And it's okay to ask questions about something that's very new and involves children. The answer can't always be that anyone from a marginalized community is automatically right, trump card, mic drop, end of discussion.
Thank you.
Because we're literally experimenting on children. Maybe that's why Sweden and Finland have stopped giving puberty blockers to kids. Because we just don't know much about the long-term effects. Although common sense should tell you that when you reverse the course of raging hormones, there's going to be problems.
And the puberty blockers that the brand of puberty blockers that they're most likely giving to kids is the same thing that they give to sex offenders to chemically castrate them. But we want to give that to children. Really? We want to stunt their development, not only their physical development, their mental development, like the brain development, their emotional development. We want to stunt all of that, and we think that's a good idea. And I also hate this idea just because you belong to a marginalized group or you put a label of oppression on yourself, that all of a sudden everything you say is right and self-righteous and nobody is allowed to criticize you. Patrice from BLM. Anyway, let's continue.
We do know it hinders the development of bone density, which is kind of important if you like having a skeleton. Fertility and the ability to have an orgasm seem also to be affected. This isn't just a lifestyle decision, it's medical. Weighing trade-offs is not bigotry. Yet when a book questioning the sudden uptick in transitioning children was released, a trans lawyer with the ACLU named Chase Strangio tweeted, "Stopping the circulation of this book and these ideas is 100% a hill I will die on." How very civil liberties of him. Chase, by the way, has just been named one of the grand marshals of this year's New York City Pride March, along with 3 other trans people and a lesbian. Huh, what's missing here? Oh, right, a gay man.
I mean, they are saying that the uptick of transgenderism is actually erasing lesbian women and gay. Because again, a lot of kids, even if they experience dysphoria or gender dysphoria as a kid, they usually grow out of it once they go through puberty and they just become gay men and gay women. It's almost like the trans community wants to get rid of gay people because they're homophobic. But anyway, let's continue.
That's where we are now. Gay men aren't hip enough for the gay pride parade. Compared to trans, gay is practically cis, and cis is practically Mormon. And this is a phenomenon we need to take into account when we look at this issue. Yes, part of the rise in LGBT numbers is from people feeling free enough to tell it to a pollster, and that's all to the good. But some of it is, it's trendy. Penis equals man? Okay, boomer. Remember, the prime directive of every teen is anything to shock and challenge the squares who brought you up. It's why nobody gets a nose ring at 56. And if you haven't noticed that with kids, doing something for the likes is more important than their own genitals, you haven't been paying attention. Dr. Erica Anderson is a prominent 71-year-old clinical psychologist who is herself transgender and who now says, "I think it's gone too far." The LA Times summarizes, she's come to believe that some children identifying as trans are falling under the influence of their peers and social media. If you attend a small dinner party of typically very liberal, upper-income Angelenos, it is not uncommon to hear parents who each have a trans kid having a conversation about that. What are the odds of that happening in Youngstown, Ohio? If this spike in trans children is all natural, why is it regional? Either Ohio is shaming them or California is creating them.
I wouldn't say not only is it regional, it's ideological. Even when you look at the trans community on these social media platforms, what do they have? They have their pronouns, they're super woke, they are extremely progressive, maybe even socialist, Marxist, or communist. If it's just a natural progression of society, why don't you see a bunch of trans conservatives or a bunch of trans central, classical, liberal Democrats or a bunch of trans libertarians? It's all like this crazy, progressive, extreme left that is going this way. So he has a point there. And there has been studies in case after case in people that are experts in this that have talked about the contagion of social media. There's been documentaries and docuseries talking about this, that even TikTok, they have an algorithm where they will push more mental health stuff onto someone. So if someone is struggling with ED or eating disorder, they would get more TikToks glamorizing eating disorders. If someone is struggling with mental health, they'll get more TikToks glamorizing that, putting themselves in this echo chamber of people who all identify with this mental health disorder, or everybody who identifies as being queer or something like that, and it just becomes like this cult. And yes, this Gen Z, out of any other generation, my generation at some point, at some part of that, like the younger generation of millennials, but Gen Z, they are obsessed. They grew up and they were born and raised in a culture of validation and likes, and from millions and millions of people are saying, you go girl, you go boy, yes, you cut off your tits, you cut off your genitals, we will love bomb you, you will be perfect, you will be part of our family, you will be part of our tribe. Most adolescents are going to have a hard time fighting that temptation. Anyway, let's continue.
It's like that day we suddenly all needed bottled water all the time. If we can't admit that in certain enclaves there is some level of trendiness to the idea of being anything other than straight, then this is not a serious science-based discussion. It's a blow being struck in the culture wars using children as cannon fodder. I don't understand parents who won't let their 9-year-old walk to the corner without a helmet, an EpiPen, and a GPS tracker. And God forbid their lips touch dairy, but... But hormone blockers and genital surgery, fine. Talk about a nut allergy. I guess penises are gross now, but one might come in handy later on. And if you're a man who wants to experience life without a pair of balls, you do not have to get surgery. You can get married. Kid. Oh, we joke.
And it's so sad because these surgeries are irreversible. Like, okay, if a young girl gets her healthy breast cut off, most likely because of pressure and love bombing from a community that she found online, she can get breast implants. It's not the same thing as the real thing. She would never be able to breastfeed her child, right? However, trying to reconstruct a penis, we have not advanced in technology and medical technology that far yet. Like, even trans men have a hard time in the lower surgery area, right? So, like, once it's gone, baby. And that is not reversible, and it's going to suck for so many. I mean, it's very much affecting overwhelmingly young girls, but the guys that they are affecting, when they grow up and they realize they don't have their fucking cocks anymore because they wanted to be a part of a tribe, sad.
And never forget, children are impressionable and very, very stupid. Kids don't know why mom drinks every day, or Why dad has 2 cell phones. Maybe the boy who thinks he's a girl is just gay. Or whatever Frasier was. Maybe the girl who hates girly stuff just needs to learn that being female doesn't mean you have to act like a Kardashian.
Yes, exactly. It's like they're like, it feels like the progressives or the trans activists or this crazy left, they're the ones who are obsessed with gender roles and gender stereotypes, because it's like, oh, you don't like the color pink? You don't like dressing like a typical female? Well, then you're not a woman. It's like it's more than womanhood than vacuuming and wearing dresses and liking color pink and painting your toenails. Like, I'm a tomboy. I can be feminine, but I also have a tomboy-esque side to me. That doesn't mean I'm not a girl. Like, it's freaking ridiculous. Anyway, let's continue.
Maybe childhood makes you sad sometimes, and there are other solutions besides hand me the dick saw. And look, I'm sure the vast majority of parents do not take this lightly, and that is very hard to know when something is real or just a phase. And I understand being trans is different, it's innate. But kids do also have phases. They're kids, it's all phases. The dinosaur phase, the Hello Kitty phase. One day they want to be an astronaut, the next day you can't get them to leave their room. Gender fluid, kids are fluid about everything. If kids knew what they wanted to be at age 8, the world would be filled with cowboys and princesses.
And this is the thing, the left, the progressive, these activists, they deny reality. They deny the fact that kids and teenagers are extremely influential, and they also deny that people have phases. The only difference between this phase is it's irreversible, no matter what the lie that it's not. And it's gonna really fuck up a lot of people when they get older. And for a lot of these teenagers, it is just too fucking late. They're head deep into their cult. They're head deep into their ideology. They have been convinced and told anybody who tries to pull them back and ask them to think a little bit harder about this or wait till they get a bit older are transphobic and just hates them. They are going to go for it, going to hit 18 and ram themselves with chemicals and cut off body parts, and it's just going to be too late for thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Because already the subreddit of detransitioners, over 30,000. Anyway, let's continue.
I wanted to be a pirate. Thank God nobody took me seriously and scheduled me for eye removal and peg leg surgery.
Alright guys, that was Bill Maher. I'm glad he is talking about this because it's utterly fucking ridiculous. Tell me guys, what do you think of what I said or he said? This is a long video, but it's a lot to be said about this situation because it really is a sad situation for me. Because again, I identify with a lot of these kids. I was an old kid, I was a weird kid, I was the freak kid in school, and I feel like if I was a Gen Zer, I could have been convinced of this. Thank God I was not born in that generation. Anyway guys, tell me what you think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get notifications when I do upload. All that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal and Cash App link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. Another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program, different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below and links to all the alternative platforms I'm on my socials. And all the ways to support me is always in the links down below. I also have a second travel vlog channel. I travel as a lifestyle, or I live abroad. If you'd like to know where I am in the world, you can go in the description box below and also in the comment section. Hit the link. Go subscribe to my travel vlog channel and or follow me on my travel Instagram. My stories is usually the most up to date. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.